Texas is home to some of the widest and busiest freeways on Earth. Our cars can enjoy beautiful open roads or be stuck in never-ending traffic snarls. The amazing thing is we got to where we are today only a century and a quarter after the first automobiles arrived in the state. That was a two-cylinder gas-powered car made by the St. Louis Carriage Company. It was bought by a railroad man in Terrell in 1899 and steered with a tiller like a boat. Many of the best early cars were electric, and one of those appeared in San Antonio that same year. Early electric cars had swappable and rechargeable batteries and a range of 50 miles or more. Unfortunately, only the larger towns and cities had electricity to charge them. It was a completely new world for car manufacturers, and there were few rules to follow. Some cars were driven from the left and some from the right. There were cars with rubber tires and others with steel rims. Some popular early models had only a single cylinder that managed 6 horsepower. All of the first autos were open-top or convertibles. The first hardtop did not appear for over a decade. Driving in an open car was dusty. Often people wore special long coats to keep their clothes clean. Many of the first car owners required drivers, since they had no clue how to operate their new purchase. Early motorists did not simply push a button and go. The first autos required hand cranking a magneto in order to get an ignition spark. For decades, multiple levers and pedals were employed to make the vehicles move. Henry Ford's Model T, made on an assembly line, debuted in 1908 and soon took Texas and the rest of the country by storm, selling for as little as $850 the first year, with a price that dropped even further after that. Ford sold 15 million Model T cars in 20 years, beginning at a time when few people had ever ridden in an automobile, let alone owned one. Early cars, driving on barely passable dirt roads, broke down often, and Texas merchants quickly understood that money could be made. Firms that worked on other machinery and metals expanded their repertoire to include automobiles. Bicycle shops, blacksmiths, and even sewing machine repairmen became auto experts. Buggy painters became car painters overnight. Gas pumps sprouted on downtown sidewalks. The roads that had barely sufficed for slow wagons drawn by horses and mules were anything but hospitable to the new machines. Narrow tires mired in mud, and the cry for better roads quickly got louder. The first surfaces tried were rock, sand, and gravel, and many county roads in Texas continue to sport those materials even today. Federal and state money eventually brought concrete and asphalt highways to Texas starting about 1915. Building bridges over the largest rivers often took many more years. Road trips were not undertaken lightly. Pre-World War I era motorists were advised to pack a jack, spare tire, fuses, rags, tire gauge, fire extinguisher, a set of ignition brushes, a box of plungers for valves, a file and wrench, a voltmeter, an oil squirt can, and spools of both copper and soft iron wire. There were no stop signs or traffic lights, and soon towns imposed speed limits for vehicles going over 10 or 12 miles per hour, though it was hard for police to measure. On the eve of World War I, there were already 200,000 cars and trucks in Texas, and dealers were reporting a waiting time for delivery. The future was determined, but horses and wagons remained frequent sights on Texas streets.